Webster and Chris Waller. He had a good run. Deb Capitas, one of the owners, looks on. Here, Huey's smoking the pipe. But Hartnell was up and going. Doyle got him going. And for Christine, she got a hearty bit. And for Deb, come on, darling, get home for a 17th. And home she goes. It was memorable. She stretched the lead. She got it out to 5 or 6. She was apples. And she's won 17 in a row, 12 of them at Group 1. What a horse. $12.7 million. And, Jace, we just saw Chris Waller there, and let's go to you because he's got a big chance in the Sydney Cup.
Oh, well, Chris, have a big, deep breath now. We turn our attention to another one. Now you've got to chat to more owners. How do you line up this Sydney Cup field?
Well, you've got to respect the Melbourne Cup. So Who Shot the Barman ran 5th in the Melbourne Cup. That's as good as form as you'll find for a Sydney Cup. It's just a matter of him being 6 months older, and he is getting to the twilight of his career, but he's had the right preparation. So, again, you can't go past Melbourne Cup form. So, based on that, he's my best of the three.
Okay, Libran comes in a little more weight than he had last year when he was favourite. What about Kinema with the earmuffs? Can we see the best of him?
Well, Libran, he was the big duke of the field last year, and he ran second, coming through the grades, as you said, got a bit of weight. Kinema, he's doing everything wrong, and it's been exaggerated by the lack of speed in his races. I think today, well, I'm hoping today, there'll be a bit more speed. The 2 Godolphin horses, a few other horses there have drawn a bit wide. I think that'll just inject a bit of speed. But if not, I've said to Tim Clark, look, don't pull his head off, literally. Let him roll, so he could even roll forward himself.
Well, mate, good luck, and thanks for all your support of Seven throughout the build-up towards Winx, mate. We were so proud of you.
Thanks very much, and I just can't thank people enough on Channel 7, all over Australia, the channels and radio, and people, they're just so warm to Winx, and it's a very, very special part of my life to be associated with her.
Fantastic, mate. Good luck.
Thanks.
He's a humble champion, is Chris Waller, the trainer. Matty Campbell from Crown Bet, a market mover for the Sydney Cup.
Well, Rich, I was just talking to Chris Waller. He's almost trying to convince him about Kinema, but it's in at $20, Bruce. We're about $41, and now it's down to 20, so a bit of a late move, one at odds, Kinema.
OK, didn't he give Zach Purton a terribly difficult ride last start?
Really difficult, and they're constantly changing the gear with this horse, so they've now got the pacifiers off and earmuffs on first time. He's just a free-going kind of horse, and you worry more stepping up in distance because they tend to go slower as you go further.
Took him half an hour to get Zach's feet out of his mouth after the race, Jessica. Who Shot the Barman looks an absolute treat. He's just peaking for this Sydney Cup. He's a beauty. Tally just looked very bright. He's well chanced to dance. I couldn't knock on looks going into this. And Venga Mask, number 13, it will roll forward too like it did last start in the Mornington Cup and try and take it up to these internationals like Penglay Pavilion and also Polarisation. He looked terrific. He's really come on. Paddy Maloney for Team Mike Maroney there with 51.5 kilos. That's him on screen with the nose roll on there. He looked very bright and well.
And Pete, you're staying with Big Duke?
He just looks too well placed. He's been the improving horse all the way through. Takes the 58 to 52 drop. Long preparation, but he sustained it hard and was strong through the line the other day.
It's fascinating when you look back at these imported horses' UK ratings. Big Duke, his best rating over there was 82, which is relatively low, especially when you're looking at the likes of Penglay Pavilion, whose top was 118, and Polarisation top of 102. Has Darren Weir improved him that much, or has the handicapper underrated these internationals?
We're about to find out. We are about to find out. Here's Darren Flindell with the Swept Sydney Cup.
Here's the second pick. Last couple going in. Vonja Mask to go forward. Down to the post and one circuit of the Randwick course in the Sydney Cup. The light is on her. And the gates open, they're off and racing, and Chance to Dance, Libran and Vonja Mask all left well. The 3 from the outside draws, but Vonja Mask is going to press on and take the lead clearly on settling now. Penglay Pavilion up into a prominent spot from Chance to Dance. Mr. Impatience is right there, a sign in that clump behind the leader, followed by Anis Mirabilis, who settles about midfield on the fence. Then the favourite Big Duke, one off. Polarisation caught 3 wide early, followed by our Moonquith and Who Shot the Barman. Further back to Pentathlon from Tally, Libran. Well, Kinema, they wanted to try and lead on this. Good luck, it's back last. Into the straight the first time, and it's Von Jamask on top. By a length or so to Penglai Pavilion. Chance to Dance jump well, and it's slowly building up the revs, getting a little bit closer now into third. A sign in a trailing position in fourth. Polarization's caught 3 deep the trip for the moment. On the outside of Mr. Impatience, and Anis Mirabilis back on the fence. Big Duke in the second half of the field on the outside of our Moonquith. 2 further back to Who Shot the Barman, having his 4th Sydney Cup run today, the top weight. He's on the outside of Libran. Back third last is Tally from Kinema, the fence. Pentathlon's last, although there's a fall turning out of the straight. Riders of Who Shot the Barman and our Moonquith have both been dislodged, and unfortunately the ladder is has broken down. Well, it's Von Jamask on top, by a length to Penglai Pavilion. The English stayer getting closer, 5 lengths away to Chance to Dance, followed by then came a sign back on the inside, a length further back to Polarization, a length further back to Anis Mirabilis, then came Mr. Impatience, 2 off to Big Duke, followed by Libran, Tally, Kinema and Pentathlon, and we've had 2 fallers, the riders of our Moonquith and Who Shot the Barman. Going inside the mile mark now, and it's Von Jamask looking to make all. Maloney's rated it well in the lead by 2 lengths on Penglai Pavilion. Doing the stalking in second, 3 off to Chance to Dance, followed then by a sign. A length further back to Polarization. They're followed by Anis Mirabilis from Mr. Impatience, Libram, Big Duke trucking along at the 1200 metres, but he's about 10 lengths away from the front runner. Then Kinema from Tally, and 2 off to Pentathlon. Going into the far corner now, Von Jamask unchallenged in the lead by a length and a half to Penglai Pavilion. Still 2 off to Chance to Dance on the outside of a sign. Lloyd Williams looking for his 5th Sydney Cup success, followed by Polarization on the outside of Anis Mirabilis. Back in the field, some of these horses are being pulled up. I think we've got a no race here, folks. Well, here's a sensation. The Sydney Cup has been called off mid-race. The riderless horses have caused disarray back in the field, and we've got the broken down horse out of the straight which can't be moved, so they've set the sirens off, and the Sydney Cup has been called off. These riders up front, Penglai Pavilion and Chance to Dance, they don't realise it. Polarization closing in. We'll see for the record. Anyhow, Chance to Dance gets his head in front from Penglai Pavilion, and Polarization swamping them on the outside. It's going to be a gutted Corey Brown when he realises the cup is off. But Polarization, for the record, beat Chance to Dance and Penglai Pavilion. But yeah, unfortunately, that horse is broken down turning out of the straight, and they're ushering the horses away. Oh, thank goodness there that other horse has taken evasive action. Who Shot the Barman and got around the cordoned off area.
Darren Flindell there with a graphic call of the swept Sydney Cup. You knew that once our Moonquith and Who Shot the Barman had the problem. They had it near the winning post, just going out of the straight. And sitting in here, we realised there could be a problem. A horse obviously has broken down. And then we saw Libran get into trouble. And then, of course, the horses were being pulling out. Tim Clark seemed to get, one of the jockeys seemed to get the word pretty early. Look, it's just hard to get your head around it. There's James Doyle there, who's going to get up in a moment. Blake Shin, I think, will come over in a moment. This was just a moment or two ago.
James Doyle, who himself is recovering from a bad fall when Pearls broke down. We don't know exactly what happened with our Moonquith. He seemed to kind of wobble on the bend, and whether he has broken down or had an internal issue, we're not sure. But he would have gone down and probably taken Who Shot the Barman with him. And like you said, Bruce, that they weren't able to finish the race.
And look, they've done the right thing. I mean, for the jockeys that finished the race, they obviously weren't aware of what was happening. It's unprecedented, I would have thought. I mean, 1866 is the first time this race has been run. We're all feeling so saddened here at the moment. It's an awful thing to have happened. And, you know, it's for everybody involved in the race, particularly the connections of any horse that suffered during that race. And as I said, it's unprecedented. So It's a shock, it's a sensation, and that's the Sydney Cup for the moment. We're going to gather ourselves here, find out some information. Jason Richardson's down there, and we'll come back to Royal Randwick after this.